Let us try that again. My apologies for the sudden uptake here. We just had a little bit of a technical problems here, but let's continue where we left off. Let's restart. So, hello to our leaves, Nimbus souls, and tune-ins who are tuning into this program. It has been a pretty hectic month, but welcome to the November edition of State of the VTuber Community. As you've been very aware, we celebrated Neltanga's special day last 19th, but there's more to that under the hood. We have a number of events to be pondering upon. And for this purpose, we've also changed models because there will be a significant topic to be discussed during this program. But for now, let's get to the list of topics that we'll be discussing tonight. We're unveiling the new branding for this program. We'll also discuss when the redesign will be reflected across past program airings, what to expect from the program and its design's perspective in several weeks. What has happened within Aurora Live VR? And what are the thoughts of their ex-talents about the company and the former's response to the allegations according to False ID? And stay tuned for an official statement from yours truly later on in response to this whole debacle. Logcast's Global VTuber Awards, and the community's denouncement following its implications on AI. Let's explain via NewsDrop's article about this. What can we do about these? Anonymity is at stake for our Chinese friends as the CCP's CAC enforces revealing of real names upon reaching the threshold. What will this mean for VTubers residing in that country? And how do we enforce privacy over this? Let's take a look at some articles from VTuber NewsDrop regarding VTuber-related events, from Sedai 1 to Shirayuri to Holo Indie and Globy. Also introduced is Rito Ron from Idol EN. I have to tell you in advance, this is not going well. We have been planning to... Apologies. We have been planning to showcase reports about the Grand Ampon Ball by Sai VT. However, we've decided to include it in a special report later on throughout December. So please stay tuned for that. Let's also discuss the following topics. Sino Alice Global Edition has been shut down, with the Japanese edition to follow. What will this mean? And how do we keep the memory of playing the game? We'll also discuss the monthly V-Stream updates as per usual, including a few features that have migrated to GA. Lastly, let's have the collective's perspective as the lore is approaching the end of the story. We'll also discuss the cosplay updates, as well as emotes as we're bringing the experience live from or near SMX Convention Center in Manila. As indicated in the previous editions, this program aims for information dissemination and that the views are only expressed by the host. Utilization of this program in aid of harassment and attacks against parties involved are wholly condemned on all grounds. As you've already witnessed, we've unveiled the new branding redesign of this program, as you saw on the beginning. It aims to be respectfully elegant, while delivering on-point perspectives that matter to the community and beyond. The new typeface covers two prominent fonts, Halamon and Champignon. The design was inspired by Vita Hanan's initial rendition of the logo as well as others, such as the likes of Sakura Sumioi. You can expect the logo to appear starting from this program onwards and everywhere else approaching 2024. Now that it's out of the way, you may be wondering why the Okasan isn't here with us. Well, let us introduce you to Emi Isium, the supposed talent of a company known as Aurora Live VR. You may be aware of her former self as Suzu Puyotori. Now, before we proceed on how yours truly got to this point, let's delve inside the company and its ongoing debacle in a nutshell, courtesy of False ID. Aurora Live VR has enjoyed its humble days when a businessman and an artist joined forces, forming its Chinese talent and artist slates. In anticipation of the supposed influx of talents in that slate, especially those outside of China, ALVR has appointed one of their supposed talents as an all-around manager, in which we'll call her Snake Lady. 2022 rolled in and Aurora Live VR, despite enjoying their prime, has seen unprecedented circumstances, from Snake Lady's new model at that time alleged to have been infringed, and the so-called performance-based requirements that determine what privileges a talent can achieve. ALVR's persuasion to talents to look up to successful talents. With all the initial debacle, it only started to become worse from then onward. Snake Lady was then forced to handle the whole Ian slate in general. From the X account to all 40 talents that are in that slate at its highest record, one of them including what we'll call as the third Maria. Late 2022 happened, and out of the 40 VTubers on that slate, 30 have been debating leaving ALVR due to management issues, from models and emotes to neglection and not debuting in groups. This has caused more pressure for Snake Lady to more than what was already in place, increasing her already overloaded workload. Taken by the toll of the staff and talents fired or leaving, Snake Lady has finally decided to leave the sinking ship that is Aurora Live VR. In response to these allegations, Aurora Live VR has made an official statement stating that they'll be enforcing legal actions against those who spread rumors about the company and the active talents. More pertinent issue at hand, the ALVR community Discord has paused their invites because one of the chatters has spread hate while spamming the staff. Here's the official statement from Aurora Live VR. Recently, certain untrue statements have been causing harm to the talents. In response to these false statements, we reserve the right to pursue legal action to protect our talents. Simultaneously, our communication with talents has always been guided by principles of friendly negotiation and mutual progress. Our core values remain rooted in respecting talents, nurturing the virtual idol industry, and aspiring to collectively build a community of harmony and shared dreams. We deeply apologize for any disappointment experienced by our audience due to communication misunderstandings and false statements. We will stay true to our principles by providing unique planning, meticulously crafted virtual images, and professional operational support for our talents. Concurrently, we reserve the right to legally address false statements that harm our talents, aiming to foster a fair and liberating environment for our shared passion. You can check out the curated playlist involving Aurora Live VR, hosted by False ID, at the URL here. Now, before we proceed on to other topics, let's discuss for a bit about how does this debacle affect everything that we do in general, especially since yours truly have had experience with these before. But before we continue though, I'll reintroduce myself to everyone watching this program. My name is Development, but you can call me Agatu or Emi Isium. The main reason I try to hold in my thoughts about this issue is because I need to be careful in both sides, since I still have some associations that I need to sort out. But seeing the debacle worsening that caused the whole ordeal to be brought up had me made up my mind. I also had to make this for the sake of our third Maria, who is currently not with us as she's still recovering from her illness. I've decided as soon as the debacle unfolds that if I want to do it for her sake, I need to do it right. So without further ado, let's go back on how she and I got to this situation. I met her on X, formerly Twitter, before she initially started her streaming journey on June 2022, most notably on the 20th. With all the previous moderator experiences I attained from another VTuber, I aided in her efforts to engage in the community. When she first debuted on 3 July on the same year, we formally formed a companionship that has aided in her continuous presence to other people. As the founding father of her community, a title widely regarded by the majority, and as an overarching community moderator since 23 July 2022, I was tasked in keeping the community healthy and make the members feel at home, which is something that I realized differently when months came by. But there's something that made this experience very different from the rest. Aside from the community, I was also assisting in her day-to-day day-to-day measures, which has been one of the greatest responsibilities that I have to keep track of so that she can work smoothly along the way. Holding meaningful conversations, exchanging advices and or perspectives on different situations, it all became clear that she clearly needed someone that she can lean on in times of trouble. Late September 2022 came around and the third Maria has announced her affiliations with Aurora Live VR during the time when Snake Lady was in charge. Together with my coordination behind the scenes, we set out everything in order. From the lore, to her personality, everything that will suit her the most. She officially debuted as a part of Aurora Live VR's Kaleido Sekai talent slate on 26 November, but due to illness and extensive breaks, and also due to back-end management issues, her presence as the company didn't last long. She lasted just 18 days, more than 2 literal weeks, as a talent, to which she was pronounced as graduated. During that period, I was then asked by the involved parties to continue the legacy that the third Maria has let go of. The legacy that will put me in a place of excitement, uncertainty, and unpredictable outcomes. After thinking about it for a while, and with some encouragements from the third Maria, I decided to take on that challenge and try to preserve the legacy as best as I can. When I was pre-admitted as a part of the talent slate named Royal Lens, I immediately feel a bit of tranquility since I have known some of the colleagues at the time during my time as the third Maria's overseer. Also with the fact that some of the proposed brandings during those times were my ideas, from the background and the branding to the alternative logo of the Kaleido Sekai. But things have turned sideways due to IRL constraints and financial difficulties, therefore the Snake Lady suggested I go independent, but still taking on that name and presence as it seems fitting that I carry on that legacy that I was entrusted with from the beginning. Initially, everything went well on the first few streams as an independent VTuber. Everyone welcomed me from both sides, or all sides rather, including existing talents from Aurora Live VR. It continued beyond the integration stream, where I officially introduced myself as the one behind the now regarded reincarnated Phoenix Queen. I was supposed to be assigned to the scheduling department during my time as pre-ME, seeing that I have some experience with graphics and Adobe Photoshop. But as time would tell, it all came into a standstill as the EN branch was restructuring, according to VTuber NewsDrop logged 30 March of this year. During that time, the management has told independent talents that all utilize free-use models that are associated with Aurora Live VR shall be immediately revoked or face legal implications. This all came down at the same time as the stepping down of one of the two founders of ALVR. Running out of options and money, I restarted my presence as ME by using a provided model by VTube Studio, most notably Akari. Then I switched to Sakurai Mon's Mo-chan, a personalized VTuber version based on the characters from Omori. Then, upon realizing that my main VTuber presence is based on Vroid, I decided to take on that approach, using at least the same design, language, and palette as on the supposed live 2D model. Unfortunately, after a year of not able to rack up any donations, I have made a hard decision to hand over the supposed final memory to Jiang Atelier, a VTuber artist studio in which Snake Lady founded. I put out this message to everyone. Upon careful consideration by related parties, I regret to inform you that the penguin model that we aspire to have is no more. As such, effective immediately, all funds related to it will be cancelled. This has been a painful decision, but due to financial circumstances and other priorities, I have personally decided to consider having Suzu a new home. I formally apologize to those who are keen on waiting for the model for more than a year, but I hope you enjoy the brand new look of the new Suzu. Emmy is young, the reincarnated Phoenix Queen. With this, a new lore will be put in place, so keep an eye out on X or Twitter for updates. But thanks to Broy and VC Face, I was able to bounce back as a reincarnated being, as indicated in the previous lore. Currently, Emmy is delving into the realm of Evertel. Follow her on Twitch, YouTube, and X at Emmy is Young, with V-Stream to commence next year. With this, on behalf of the collective VTresMarias, V San rino Maria, I will be issuing an official statement which is as follows. This past few days have been daunting, with many allegations against Aurora Life VR and its related talent slate left and right. Many people have caught on to the debacle through False ID and Snake Lady, who have unraveled what ALVR had done to the public. The support for the other X-talents who have felt that they have lost their footing due to what the company has done has been immensely high, and many have come forward to aid them in this situation. This way, they can continue to do what they want to do for the sake of their community. As to Aurora Life VR, I have personally seen the dedication and resilience to continue supporting your talents well. But as far as the X-talents are concerned, the debacle which has caused by all the management issues made me worried on what was to come. I'm not wishing for the worst to happen to the company, and in fact I never will because I have seen your potential. All I wanted is your commitment and equal treatment for all the current talents and not only the successful. This isn't some sort of a business trope based out of a manga or two, and basically not Akio Air either. You all need to be better and be better than that. Please note that I might not say much because there's still some associations that I'm still trying to sort out, so some perspectives may be limited as of now. Regarding what will happen next, if anything happens that involves the collective in some way, we'll let you know in the not distant future. Moreover, as Emmy is young, I'll be having my own thoughts about this debacle on 1 December at 5 PM GMT +8. What are your thoughts about this debacle and what can you do to support the X-talents? Reel it in the chat, we'll get to later in the program. Now, let's take a breather for a moment. Feels good? Because we have another pertinent issue at hand here. A company designated to award the most prominent VTubers as well as using their shenanigans for AI purposes. Yikes. While there are many different VTuber awards one can participate in, this one is from a company that is designated to use these events and integrations for other purposes. Yes, we're talking the Global VTuber Awards, hosted by none other than Logcast, which name is considered new and or unknown to the VTuber community. But what do we know about Logcast, Oshi, and its awards in general? Thanks to an article by VTuber NewsDrop with a supporting interview from Niles VT, let's discuss what is that about. Logcast, the company behind Oshi, named as Oshi Forever, in a nutshell, allows creators to earn by sharing their audio-centric content. In addition, they also allow the fans to interact with their favorite Oshis through virtual meet and greets, granting them limited edition collectibles or NFTs, non-fungible tokens. Oshi Forever debuted in May 2023, which caters to virtual influencers, where VTubers are categorized as, and the expanding boom of the Web3 scene, where the latter is mostly associated with blockchain technologies. Currently, Logcast and its underlying ventures are led by Lenny Andronikos, who is based in Sweden. The Global VTuber Awards, in Logcast perspective, provide a way to recognized the VTubers of different aspects from different parts of the world. With many categories, they have begun their nomination campaign during this time the report was logged, 11 November. Some VTubers have shown optimism and support for the awards just like the rest, but the majority have voted against it. The reasons were the following. Generative AI and NFTs were a long-time discussion within the community, and that the former has been used for the majority of the campaign, which has been viewed negatively. From the interview, Lenny emphasizes that the AI art used is to have unbiased representation of VTubers with further implications enforcing consent to the involved VTubers. During an open AMA, she did not comment on how generative AI can negatively impact the creative aspects of the VTubing space, emphasizing that Gen AI contradicts to the human nature behind VTubing itself. According to Rev Says Desu on YouTube, there have been instances that Lenny's logcast have been targeting videos across the internet with DMCA infringements because they claim they were criticizing the company. According to Maple Syrup 8369, they claim Hatsune Miku is a VTuber, they claim Kizuna Ai is an AI VTuber. Then they strike channels for spreading misinformation, like WTF. At Uncensored Sion pointed out the company steals things and misuses the copyright system to silence the critics, and that it's BetterHelp all over again. Again, this program aims for information dissemination and not used for coordinating criticisms against involved parties. But in an event that a false infringement will be issued against this stream or this VOD, we'll counter it immediately with respectable grounds for an equivalent of fair use. Anyways, what do you think about this one? Leave your thoughts in the chat and we'll discuss about it later. Third issue is here, and it involves our beloved Chinese influencers out there. The Chinese Communist Party's Cyberspace Administration of China, or CAC, has mandated back in July about news organizations not affiliated with the government must report on accurate sources for news regarding domestic and international affairs. With it, the regulators have asked SOCMED platforms to disclose real names of influencers with 500k followers and above. According to Reuters and mirrored by NewsDrop, the move was aimed at purifying the country's ever-growing cyberspace. Weibo had it first at 1 million, but eventually transitioned to 500,000. Bilibili has also implemented related measures, but there's a catch. There will be certain restrictions such as account traffic and income. Even influencer doesn't include their real name in their profile. Douyin, the Chinese version of TikTok, WeChat, Baidu, and Xiaohongshu were among other platforms implementing related regulations. Despite this, according to sources in Weibo, it was only directed at professional fields such as social and current affairs, military, finance, law, and medical topics, and that the VTubers are not affected by the regulations. For now. But one has to wonder, if the regulations were updated to include other aspects, including VTubers, what can we do about this change? And now, let's get to the news from VTuber NewsDrop, your source of everything VTubers and beyond. First off, SEDAI 1, an agency catering to the Spanish audience, has shut down following the departure of Aono Nemo last 31 October. SEDAI 1's Argent Moon has stipulated that all operations be ceased indefinitely, leaving the rest up to the remaining talents who have been disbanded following the cessation. Anastasia White and Iwi Flay are continuing their activities independently as of this report. Sida Production is another agency to have ceased operations as well, following the step-down of the CEO and producer Ang Kyok P due to the recent aortic surgery. This was to prioritize health and well-being of their staff and talents. Nyaru, Yoro Yo-Yo, and others have left their farewell statements as well, and has continued their activities independently while retaining their assets and socials for the foreseeable future. HoloLive-inspired fan games can now be monetized thanks to Cover's launch of Holo Indie last 15 November. Today, Sinoalis Global has shut down and DOA XV, the Japanese edition, enjoys their 6th anniversary. According to Cover, it was built to provide an ecosystem that supports activities from derivative works. and to create opportunities in delivering such works that can be accessible to more Hololive fans. There are a number of Hololive-based fan games out on itch.io and Steam, among others, most notably Holocure, Delivering Hope, and Holo Parade, the first fan game under such program. Globy, the European arm of Brave Group, has unveiled their Gen 1 slate, consisting Kumanui Miel, Renaron Roea, Taring Hu, Obari Luka, Sarugaku Leon Jr., Pippa Pebblesworth, and Ibiki Bjo. They will set to debut on 29 December with a group stream happening on the last day of the debutathon, officially cementing Brave Group into the European market following their plans last June. For PH VTuber fans out there, look out for Leon. And lastly, Hyoresu, known as the Riro Ron, has been terminated by Idol Core on 28 November following breaches in her NDA and numerous misconducts, which include misuse of sleeping pills during a live stream, solicitation for offline meetups, which ended up with actually meeting one IRL and accepting gifts worth thousands of US dollars, and secretive relationship with one of the management staff, who was also terminated. Following the notice, Kyoresu has made a statement from her professional account prior to termination that she apologized for all the jokes that made her viewers concerned, citing that she should clear her head from streaming and reflect on the matter by taking a short break. However, she put out a post on her personal account that she can't clarify the matter due to an NDA, and that she's extremely disappointed and has nothing to apologize for. Idol Core also mentioned that Project Star has ceased following Riro's termination with the agency. You can learn more about Riro Ron's termination through false ID's video here. If you or someone you know needs help with mental health, you can call or text 988 or visit 988lifeline.org if you're in the US. 1553 Luzon White or visit doh.gov.ph/NCMH crisis hotline if you're in the Philippines, or 03-5774-0992 or visit teljp.com/lifeline/telchat if you're in Japan. Elsewhere, consult with your national health institutions or local government units for assistance. Let's get over the non-VTuber topic in which yours truly was involved in. If you have heard of Sino Alice Somewhere, it has reached its end of service for Global Edition last 15 November at 5 p.m. UTC. My friend Emmy was hosting the program until the very end, albeit with some difficulties, but we have our share of sorrow and sympathy as the beloved game has been disappeared. For those who have paid Twilight Crystals in their account, you can request a refund until 15 December. The team also advises not to switch devices as it will void the refund request. With it, the Japanese edition, which debuted last 2017, will be following suit on 15 January 2024 at 12 p.m. JST or 3 a.m. UTC. Now it's time for the monthly V-Stream updates, serving your freshest updates from the backend. First off, you can now reuse the payment methods that you saved and remove them as well. VStream remembers your payment details, although unsure if it applies in per browser or per account basis. Next, the social feed is now available to Waves, aka alpha testers. They will now be able to interact with posts the same way they would in their SOCMED platforms. Beta testers can view and like posts for now. More features will be added to social feed as it hits beta. Next, streaming is officially in GA, or general availability. Now everyone who created a VStream account can now stream from the get-go without the need of an invite code from someone. Then, we have a quota increase. Per video file size has increased from 5GB to 30GB with a cool feature that an upload can be paused immediately when internet becomes unstable. Just don't close the browser. Next, timestamps. Now you can do what you would in YouTube by commenting a timestamp like you like. Didn't we mention uploading was also in GA? Lastly, The VStream Developer API has been released with appropriate documentation together with a new Discord server to boot. Chat with fellow developers, integrate the API to your favorite apps, and see it fly in your stream in the URL here. And last but not the least, let's take a look at the developments from the collective as we're approaching less than a month before the first anniversary. First off, so far, the cosplays collection is nearly done. Along with the benefactor we'll call 835, few required items are yet to be shipped to our house, bringing us closer to the deadline. Stay tuned for more updates with the hashtag #AgaCosplay on X. Next, the story of the first Maria, Mother, the after story, is almost done, with Chapter 8 currently rolling. It currently has a total of 18.2k words consuming 54 pages as per Google Docs. When all of it is done, I will begin practicing on stream on what it'll sound like prior to the debut anniversary. The new and improved Aga modes have been debuted, with Agalove and Agapat being the first to receive a facelift. You can use it right away here on VStream, but we'll have more debuting at the anniversary. And now for the final bit. The debut anniversary, Cosplay Matsuri 2023, and the final monthly state of 2023 will be aired live at or around SMX Convention Center at Pasay City, Metro Manila. For those who can make it at these times, you may be able to see me in my full cosplay form. Hope to see you there. It has been a long, tough journey for us fellow VTubers and everyone else. But it's made us appreciate the VTuber community more. With it, let's take a look at the comments and see what they have to tell us. With the comments or not, I would like to thank you all for your continued support of the collective. Special thanks go to VStream for their commitment to make this platform great. The Marias have been my strength and inspiration to keep going my daily life, and everyone for watching this program. Please be reminded that the next month's date will be live at or around SMX Convention Center, so I hope to see you there.